Hello everyone, and welcome to the next video for the Power Ranger Supercharged series. Today I'm going to be presenting the Power Ranger Supercharged Morpher and Power Keys. So, first and foremost, let's go ahead and go over the Morpher itself. Very blatant design, and that's on purpose specifically, so that way this is not really the main focus in regards to like the individual pieces of the Rangers. The keys will be. And we'll get into that after I show you how this functions specifically. So first and foremost, we're going to be using a Velcro strap. And honestly, I will have to eventually figure out how to make the instructions. Like, I know how to do it. It's just actually taking the time to do so. I will try to at least get you guys the instructions for the Morpher because this is a really cool thing. But anyway, so I use Velcro specifically because using an elastic strap tends to kind of pull down on the Lego to try to separate it, but the Velcro actually works a lot better to not pull, and at the same time is a lot more comfortable to use. So to put it on, you're going to put it face down and make sure that the front of the Supercharged Morpher is facing away from you. So then you'll put your wrist upside down like this, then strap it on as tightly as you can, and then you'll probably have to do like some movement in order to make sure that you have it on at the best angle so that way it sits flat on your wrist. And it does make putting it on by yourself a little difficult, but here you go. And this is a really comfortable way for it to fit. Now, this part right here moves, and I'm going to show you how specifically, but before I do, I need to show you the most important part about this whole thing, and that is the pin key down here. Very small piece, kind of looks like a hammer, and it'll go into this part right here whenever it's not in use, so you don't potentially lose it. But when you do need it, you'll just simply pull it out, and then you'll use it to turn on any of these power keys. So to show the full use of it, I'm going to present all 7. Here is red gasoline 1's power key. And at the bottom here is where we're going to use this pin in order to turn on the light. So that way it glows. And then what you're going to do is this slot right here, which is 2 flat pieces high and 2 flat pieces wide, 5 studs deep. You're going to take your power key, put it in, and then twist it. And boom, it twists open. There's your screen. Here's your where the buttons would be specifically. And how this locks is with this stud right here. Instead of going into the normal spots where studs normally go, I have it so that since this is a hollow stud, it'll go right onto this piece right here sticking out. So that way it locks in much better, it stays in place, but it's also still easy to open. And back here, I am specifically using a 3-wide piece that has only that has these 2 spots, a normal axle, and then here a cross axle. So that way it stays perfectly in place. And then, once you're done, you'll just take your pin and twist it off. So that way you're not, wasting the battery on these things. And now to just go ahead and present all 7 of the power keys. So here is Blue Hydrogen 2's key, which I really do like that it has the eye on it specifically. And once again, using the key here. Got to find that sweet spot so that way it stays on the whole time that you're using it. and to show you that every key works with the morpher the exact same way. So now let's go ahead and turn this off. Now for green ethanol 3. Yes, green ethanol 3. Sorry, I just had a brain fart. I do not know why. It's definitely the biggest of the bunch. And it also shows one of the things that I had to do. So these blocks here that light up, they don't have every single color available. So what I did was use transparent pieces of the respective colors of each of the power keys in order to make sure that it glows up the right color. So once you find that sweet spot, boom, it glows green. And of course, still functions just like the others. There we go. Turn off. Do the same thing with the other ones. This is going to be yellow electric 4's power key. There we go. Like I said, finding that sweet spot specifically is kind of difficult sometimes, but it's all in the name of making the effect work. And of course, the other thing is, just to present this to everyone, I have to have my arms like around my phone camera. So I do apologize for the awkward angle. Next will be pink wind power 5. Find that sweet spot right there. I think we can get this to be brighter. Or, ooh. There we go. Now you can see it glowing. Glowing pink, that is. And I just have to admit that building these did in fact take time, and finding sets specifically in order to collect and make all of these function the way that I want them to specifically. And I also have to credit whoever suggested finding the light up bricks. That made this so much better in regards to the aesthetic of the keys themselves specifically, because just having pieces that were transparent really didn't give off the effect that I kind of wanted them to. So moving forward, this will be black diesel 6. Then of course use that. And yes, there's even black transparent pieces. It's not the best in regards to making it glow quote unquote black, but it's what you can do with the resources that you have available to you. And I think it does put the effect, or pull off the effect very, very well. Just showing that it is still usable with the morpher. And like I mentioned, you always want to make sure that you turn these off whenever they're not being used, so that way you don't end up wasting the batteries. And one other thing that I want to point out as I bring up the last key here, which is White Solar 7, each key is completely different in design, even the stems here. So I don't know if you noticed that, but each one has a completely different style to it. But they are all 2 wide, 5 long. And that is on purpose, so that way they all function exactly the same. And then there's white. Perfect. And then of course, when it comes to the morpher itself, always want to make sure that you put your pin away. And keep that in mind for the next video, because that is going to be used in something else that I'm going to be presenting. Nothing in regards to the Zords back here. Those have gotten their full presentation, and I want to thank you very, very much, all of you, for watching, liking, and getting the amount of attention that I was honestly not expecting for all of this. And I know a lot of people definitely like the Morpher specifically because of how well it functions, how it nicely sits no matter what I do. And then all I have to do is just take off the Velcro and then just have it sit there looking pretty. So I want to, again, thank you very much for watching. And once this video hits, I think I'll go with 3,000 because I do recognize that the last Morpher video I made was pretty good. But once this hits 3,000 views, then I'll move on to the next video. In the meantime, all of you have a good day.